Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Pat Callahan. The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence says 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience some sort of domestic violence in their lifetime. And Maine is certainly not exempt from that statistic. A Lewiston nonprofit served 1,900 domestic violence or sex trafficking victims just last year. News Center Maine's Jackie Mundry introduces us to a mother and daughter who have both experienced domestic violence and how they are working to help others.
It was probably about 10 years ago, and I was in a rough place, a kind of vulnerable place in my life at that point.
Alyssa Coyne was 20 years old and looking for some stability after her mom and stepdad got divorced. She fell in love with someone who promised her just that.
We moved down to North Carolina. We shared a bank account. He had the credit card or the debit card and all the money that went into it. He had the only vehicle.
Well, in North Carolina, Alyssa wasn't happy, but kept making excuses as to why she couldn't leave.
He needs me, he loves me. This is all because he loves me, and now that I look back at it, I'm realizing that it wasn't.
But when she did eventually try to leave, it got violent.
Eventually, it got to the point where he held me at knife point.
This all played out while she was on the phone with her mom, Noelle Coyne.
Listening to all of this going on, helpless in Maine, as my daughter is being threatened in North Carolina.
Eventually, Alyssa ended the relationship and made it back to Maine safe. Now, mother and daughter both work at Safe Voices. The nonprofit is in the process of opening a new facility in Lewiston with the goal of helping more people.
We are working alongside survivors. Some of us are survivors. Survivors are our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, and that also means that there are perpetrators of abuse that are our friends, our neighbors, and our colleagues.
At Safe Voices, they're not only focusing on helping survivors, but also educating the community so others don't find themselves in the same situation. In Lewiston, Jackie Mundry, News Center, Maine.